Um, please let me know. Okay. There we go. Is there somebody I can just promote to let everyone in so I can continue with the class, please?
Sure, I don't mind assisting with that, Doctor.
Thank you, Sandri. I'm going to upgrade you. Okay. Right. You should be able to admit everyone as they come in. Okay. So,
Yeah, I see I've got access. Thanks, Doctor.
okay, great. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Let us kick off tonight's class on my Elisa. And then just mute you, put you guys there. Okay. So you have been playing around and doing a lot of things on various AIs. And last week we had the question in class, why all the AIs, right? So there's different ways of entering the field. So oops, let me just mute everyone. So Sandy, you could just mute all the other students as well, please. So
Sure,
when
no problem.
Okay, great. So when we say you enter the field, what do I mean when I say that? So you are in the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences, and you are in the field of business management. But within business management, there are various sub-specializations. So, for example, I specialize in strategic management, and within strategic management, I then specialize in a field called strategy as practice. So that's what you do in academia or in academic research. You specialize. So you be almost like a medical doctor. So you have now done your general medicine degrees, and then as you go forward, you will then specialize in different things. So your research question or the topics that we put out then for you to look at and consider is then in different research fields. So I want to show you um, this research focus areas of your list. So you can just Google that, and then you would find on the master's and doctoral degree website, you would find research focus area. And like I was saying earlier, you start with the college that you are in or the faculty. Then you are in economic and management sciences. This breaks then down in the research focus areas for all departments for 2026. It will download the file. If you click on it, open it. Well, let's open it this way. And then if you open the document, you will see here are the research focus areas. Now, research focus areas is specifically delineated by school first. So you have the School of Economic and Financial Sciences. Most of these degrees or these focus areas do require econometrics and economics as modules. So you guys, if you haven't done them, you wouldn't fall in this category. They're also very heavy mathematics requirements on these ones. The Institute for Corporate Citizenship is something where you could have a look at. We are looking at sustainable development goals. So we are linking everything to sustainable development goals. Although Prof. Norman and them are only taking doctoral students for next year, so you guys wouldn't necessarily qualify. But here is where we are. So when we developed the topics, we had a look at all the various focus areas in the department, and you would see that there is a breakdown of each of these research focus areas. And you cannot do research in any research focus area if you do not read and if you do not enter the field. So, what you have been doing now with the various AI tools is a shortcut into entering the field. There are different ways of doing it. When we started out doing research, you only had Google Scholar, so you would Google things and you would cast a wide net and you would start screening abstracts. I'll show you what that is now and see, does this fit, does this not fit? And then you would start reading a little bit, looking at the reference list, looking at who cited the articles and who um, were cited in the article. So all of that Research Rabbit has done for you, we had to do it manually. So what you have done in the last 2 weeks of entering the field would have been when I started my research a few decades ago, would have taken about 6 months to achieve. And that is why I have taught you or shown you these kind of shortcuts into understanding how these things fit together and into entering the field. Going forward, it's not going to be as simple because the AIs only have so much capacity until they start doing the thinking for you. So, what I want you to do during the course of this week is to go have a look at these research focus areas and see the topic that you chose. Which of these does it fit? And then go download the Word document that is in there and read that in conjunction with everything else that you have read. So it's important, for example, let us have a look at the strategy as practice document that's embedded in there. You would see the theme that is not the biggest concern. What I want you to have a look at is there's a LibGuide for strategy as practice. You can click on it. There's also a research agenda. So when you read this research agenda, think of what your research is. It does help you to understand the field you are entering in, right? Better than what you have at the moment. So now you are taking what you have found by yourself and you are comparing it to what the experts at UNISA define. Also, I want you to see who are they referencing. These are the important authors that you need to go have a look at, and you have to go read these articles over and above the articles that you have already selected and used in your table up to this point. Okay, so you will be adding these ones. Here is the reference list. There is methodological papers, there is strategy papers, there's different different types of papers here. So I want you to go have a look at them and then enter the field even more, your field, which you have chosen that fits with your topic. Okay, now it is a lot of reading. There is really a lot of reading in this part. So divide the reading, come together, and then discuss the articles with your colleagues in your groups, telling them what you found out, how it's interesting, and engage this with this as a group and work through it. Not all of the research focus areas have these many things, but it is important that you understand the field in which you are doing research. Yeah. So now that we are in this field and you have read various let me just get back. Okay, various articles, and you understand a little bit around the field. Each of you in your group would have probably have read now 10 articles. So you kind of understand a little bit of what is going on. What is going on? Just muted. And you would be able to start clarifying and seeing the problem that you are going to research a bit clearer. Now, in any, there's a lot of videos here for you to watch on what is a research problem, but I want you to just have a look here. Okay. So you have done now this background research. So ask yourself, okay, what do we know about our topic? So write it down. And that's why I often, and I kind of force it on you, use mind prompts. So say, okay, what is known? It is known that strategist practice looks at the doing of research, of strategy. It is known that the sky is blue or whatever in your field is, right? Then I want you to go have a look at articles. I want to just open a article. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so this is transient advantage. Let's just see it. Sometimes when they write for the Harvard Business Review, they don't write in the normal academic way of writing. So, let's not use this one. It defeats the purpose. All right, let's get a different one. Okay. Wait, it's mm, the last article. Okay, so if we look at any article will start with what is called an abstract, or then, as you see in the Strategic Management Journal, they call it a summary. The abstract or the summary has got almost everything in that is important. It tells you what is the method that it's used. It tells you what the findings are, and it also tells you what the problem was. If you can't locate it in the abstract, which is this part, right? Let's just highlight that is the abstract. You would have to start looking a little bit deeper. So normally, they would, in the introduction, either have a sentence to say, this is the problem, or this is what we are aiming to do with this article. So if we quickly screen this specific article, I know what the problem is. There's a recognition for replication studies of that where there's statistical results. By the way, replications are a very good way, good tool to use for a master's degree. Okay, we need to discuss the many different topics. Let's just see. There's always Okay, so it is like I know what the exactly what the problem is, or why they wrote this article. So when you are, why do you do a replication study? So if you just have a look at this specific article, they say that you have to consolidate different elements of research so that you can have the consolidate the balance of evidence. So I don't know if you ever heard the saying the balance of the evidence shows. Meaning, if you then put the data or replicate a few studies and combine a few studies together, you get to the balance of the evidence. And you can also then look at the different elements that are associated. Okay, so, but this is a methodological paper, so it's always difficult to look. But that's specifically why we then do replication type studies. And in any article, the problem that they would try to investigate would be in the introduction. They often then say the problem. Then they go into normally into the literature, and then they will then submit the any empirical evidence that they have. And this is the introduction to a. Here they offer guidelines on the replication, and then this is the introduction to a special issue, but let's hope they also have a little bit working on these issues. They won't have 5 dimensions to be important. We used to note many of these. Okay. Sorry, let me get one that is nicer to just show you. This is these articles. Just open it on the other website. For some other reason, my two things aren't thinking nicely. This is a very nice cheat article for strategy as practice. Again, there's the abstract data intake stock of the field. And in this specific article, they give you a whole breakdown of how strategy as practice link together. Here is a VOS diagram that looks similar to Research Rabbit to show you how the authors are connected, who are the most peripheral authors. And this is important to understand when you are entering the field because these guys here in the blue, you would have to read, even the red and the funny green color. Okay, then I want to get here. Okay. So I do think I have a recommendation. Okay, so there in each article that you would read, they make their recommendations for future research in a table like this, but they all have in the end a recommendation for future research. So if you look, just turn your let me turn that page a little bit. Here they give you potential research topics. And your problem needs to speak and cite a potential research topic in a least one or for this art for this purpose 1 or 2 articles, but for if you want to do a master's 3 even if for a PhD, we want to have at least kind of triangulate 5 different recommendations into one. So here you would say that based on what you've read, that digitalization, big data, and artificial intelligence in strategy work, so something related to that, right, would be a problem that is justified to research. When is a problem justified to research is when somebody else says so. That's the only reason. Not because it's not done. It hasn't been done. Digitalization, big data, and AI in strategy is not very well researched. The fact that it hasn't been done isn't why we're doing it. We would do research on that because these authors in a peer-reviewed journal said we should. And why did I say we should do it? Because we have to focus on the tensions between micro and macro strategy. So, and how you bridge the gap using digitalization, big data, AI, or something similar. So you need to understand the research area in order to understand why these would be research problems that you would be able to solve. Okay, so is that clear? Do you understand how to get to the problem? I see no reaction. Are you all sleeping? Is it so boring?
We with you, Doctor.
Okay. I just
We
thought
are confused.
you're confused. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let me help you. Why are you confused about how to find the problem?
Confusing.
Is it confusing? I'm sorry. Okay, let's see if I can unconfuse it. Okay. When we started the research at the beginning of the year, you went and spoke to people until enough people told you that this is the problem, right? You did that. So you understood that it is only a problem that you can make money out of if enough people have that problem, right? In academic research, it is a similar thing. It is only a problem if enough people tells you that it's a problem. They tell you it is a problem in their recommendations for future research. See here, they say, let me just make it smaller. Potential research topics or then recommendation for future research. They tell you this is the problem. So you started with a research question. I always let students write that first in their topic statement, say guiding research question. And now you need to say that research question that you have. Why is it justified? Who are the people that says that research question or that problem that research question tries to answer is worth answering? And that you get in the potential research topics or recommendations for future research. Does this help a little bit if I tell it to you like that?
Yes, it does.
Okay. If you still don't have it, because the problem is one of the most difficult things to do. And I said it in the beginning of the year as well. The problem here is just as important as finding the right research problem is just as important as finding the right problem to make money out of. Okay. So you need to now develop a sentence to say, okay, the problem driving, this is the research question I have. That research question, so the problem driving this research question is, is that we do not know. What do we do not know? If we have a look at this, why is the touchscreen not able? That we do not know how digitalization influences strategy work. Kotmaki et al. And then you have a problem that is justified with academic research. And there's more people. So if you read this specific article, you will see they have a whole discussion about more with more references associated to the specific article. I'll upload it in the chat for, or no, I'll upload it on, I'll send you the link to download it so that for those of you who want to, or doing strategy as practice, where your topic is related to it. It's a very nice, I call it cheat article. Okay. Now, if we go back, so we have to start when you're writing this next step is to write a topic statement. You will start, you will say, this is the guiding research question. You can take that from elicit. Then you say, what do we know? So you start your background section when you write your topic statement. You say, okay, this is what is known, but you sell it, right? You say, we know that there is this high youth unemployment. We know that AI is taking over the world slowly, or whatever. You need to sell yourself now in your first sentence. That's called your opening moves. Must make people want to read it. So your background part of your topic statement, you tell us what is known. And that leads us then to the problem statement. And then you put the statement, and it's only one sentence, and you say, based on everything that we've written now in the background, what we know, the problem is that we still don't know whatever it is, right? And despite this need to investigate the problem, contemporary research still urges us to do more research into a specific topic and to reference that. Now, nobody can tell you that your research is not justified. Just like when you did your interviews with people at the beginning of the year. If you have 100 people that says the water in Tshwane is not drinkable, nobody can tell you otherwise because you know that it is not drinkable, right? So you can cite those 100 people. And if you can cite in academia 2 or 3 people, nobody can tell you that that is not a justifiable research problem. Okay, so now that you have your main research question that drives your research problem, you need to then develop your purpose. Your purpose is to solve the problem using a rapid literature review. So remember, when you are developing this, you are limited to using one specific methodology. That methodology is called a rapid literature review. So we are not going to go do interviews. We're not going to go and do surveys. All we are going to do is we're going to look in these databases that UNISA subscribed to, and we're going to get literature, and based on what is in literature, we are going to answer that question. Okay. So make sure that you understand how to, or we will get to how to get to that. also have a look on Teams. I did in the beginning of the year, Milani did do a lot of videos and she did come to Honors Week. So I did upload the videos on how to use the UNISA library. It is uploaded on in the Teams folder under the beginning of the year's Honors Week videos. So you can go have a look at that in the meantime. But now that okay, but we will go through it when we get there. Okay, so now that you understand what the problem is, and I want to bring us back to the murder story. The problem is the murder. The research question is who committed the murder. And the purpose is the investigation into solving that murder. Okay, do you understand the murder analogy? You don't have to speak to me. You can just like do or a happy face or a sad face or a boo face. Yeah. It's difficult to teach if you guys don't interact. I'm gonna have a pop quiz for marks at the end. I'm just teasing. Okay. So now we have the academic problem and we can go to the purpose. Okay. So now that you have your research problem, you have to craft your purpose statement, right? So the purpose statement has to clarify your research question. It has to give you a guide on your research design. And it has to communicate your intentions, so your limitations of your research effectively. So in your purpose statement, you would have to use the term rapid literature review. So the purpose of the proposed rapid literature review, or the purpose of this rapid literature review, is to synthesize the literature pertaining to whatever it is that you are doing. So you need to make sure that your purpose statement gives you all these elements when you are writing it and when you are putting it together. And earlier in your assignments, you had to look at the PICO framework. That PICO framework will guide your literature search. It also guided your entry into the field, right? So you need to make sure when you pull that in, your PICO framework is reflected in some way in your purpose statement. So what is the population? What is, are you comparing anything? Okay, so make sure that you divide it into the 4 parts, have your key terms, and then try and use those terms when you are formulating your purpose statement. So your statement of problem is 1 sentence. Your purpose statement is a paragraph consisting of 3 to 4 sentences. I want to just warn you, ChatGPT doesn't write a proper purpose statement. It can't. It uses the aim of the study, the purpose of the study, the goal. It has like 10 different terms for purpose and it uses it all in 1 paragraph. There's no way it's going to do it. It doesn't do it properly. So with this one, you would have to go to your research rabbit, go to your PICO framework, go to these things, read them, and see how you mold it and how you put it together so that it makes sense. And there should be only 1 purpose in your purpose statement, not a purpose and an aim and a goal and the objective and everything. So, to reflect on it, we need to know who, the population, what is the context of your study, what is the main focus, when is it, so documented in academic literature. You can look at the last 10 years, but you need to justify. So if you are looking at the last 10 years, why the last 10 years? not just because there must be a reason for a time limitation. A rapid literature review, if you've read all the documents uploaded, they are able to limit to time. You can use those methodological references to help you limit the time. How will it be done? It's a rapid literature review. And then go to Bloom's taxonomy and look at the verbs that I list there that you can use. Okay. And then you can see I gave you the purpose of the proposed rapid literature review is to something, the what of who, at where in the documented academic literature. So you can then plug into that almost anything that you want to, and then just correct the English so that it fits with your specific topic. Okay, are you with me on the purpose statement?
With you, Doctor.
Okay, now that we have the purpose statement, you need to break it down into smaller steps. So if we said the problem is the murder, the question is who committed it, the purpose is to investigate it, the steps that you take to investigate the murder is then the research objectives, right? So remember, your research objectives must be limited to literature only. So you can't go and have empirical ones, meaning that you have to go speak to people. You can only find things in literature. So it is a little bit different that you would have in other instances where you are permitted to go and look for the data. We already collected data for at the beginning of the year. We're not going to collect data for this part. We are going to just look at what is in the literature. It's also important, guys, that you know that this method that I'm teaching you is important to be able to use that if you want to apply for a master's degree, you're going to do the same thing. And if you are in that master's degree, when you are writing your research proposal for your master's, you will use the same methodology. But this rapid literature review is an excellent way of writing your chapter 2. Right? So we have chapter 1 in your master's is your research proposal, but your literature review part using the rapid review methodology helps your study to be more replicable. If it's more replicable, it's more trustworthy or more reliable. And people like that in academic research. So the method that we are doing and the systematic way that I'm going to teach you to work through the literature and to get to these things is something that you can write down and people can copy and get to the similar result. So just keep that in mind when you are doing your master's later on in life. Okay, so make sure that your research objectives are then the steps are related to your research purpose, and all of these objectives and purpose must lead to you being able to solve your problem and answer your research question. So they are all connected to each other. I'm sure you've heard the term before, golden thread. So in academia, we want to make sure that there's a golden thread. And one of the ways to do that is now the big things. Make sure that your research question, your research problem, your research objectives and purpose all speak to one thing. The other way is in the way that we write. So when you are writing, this is just on a side note, when you are writing paragraphs, if you end the one paragraph with a sentence about a computer screen, the term computer screen must repeat in the next paragraph. That way, you make sure that your argument flows through your text. Okay. So here we are with the research objectives. Remember that research objectives must be SMART. So they must be specific, they must be measurable, achievable, relevant to your topic, and then you have to have a time frame in them. Okay. All right. Academic value and contribution. Okay, so we did have a discussion on it a little bit. But now we have a problem, right? Now your academic value or your theoretical contribution, if go back to this article, the contribution here is within praxis theory of strategy as practice. And this is why I say this is actually a very nice cheat article for maybe just did it for strategy as practice scholars, because it breaks it down very nicely. It tells you, okay, let me just show you. It tells you there is these central themes. If you have a look, let's turn this down. Okay, these are the central themes in strategy as practice. There's strategy as process. These are the key theoretical influences. So it already gives you the theories to which you would be contributing. So when it's not within strategy as practice, you would have to go read the articles to understand what are the theories you are contributing. Is it then to activity theory, structuration theory, activity theory? It all depends on what you are researching. You would pick it up when you read the articles. They would be saying, this is the theory they are applying. But you would have to go and look for it in the article. So you would contribute to that theory within the strategy as practice field, or whatever fields that you are in, business ethics, international business, whatever you are entering into, you would look for this in the literature discussion of the articles. So you have to go read them and look where is the theory, and then say, okay, if we consider that we are doing, keep on turning it back. To show you. Okay. That digitalization falls within the praxis stream. We said praxis stream looks at structuration theory, and it will show you when you read the specific article, it will tell you how does it speak to sense making, how does it speak to structuration. It gives you articles to go and read back and to understand, if you solve this, how will you contribute to theory, and how must you structure things going forward. But this is a bit more technical, and you would have to go and look for it specifically for your research topic. What would be the big theory where you are contributing, and how would you do it? And that would be in all these papers that you have now been collecting, that would be in there. But you would need to go and look for them. It's not all the fields that have it mapped out like they did with the specific articles. Okay. Yeah, they say, they tell you how to do it. This is the research cat, and then the Miles article, a taxonomy of research, does show by Miles, it does show you how to look for a gap and how to then structure that gap. Okay. And then the proposed methodology that you are going to use for this specific thing is then a rapid literature review. I just want to see that I don't jump too far. Okay, just let that. Okay. Okay. I've gone quite far ahead. Oops, there's a number just somewhere the numbers went out. This one I didn't number. Okay, so yeah, I've jumped a bit far ahead. But I do think these things are important for you to understand that you know where you are going to and what you are working towards achieving. So you would be almost at the point of understanding all the various aspects that you've put together and how these would then shape your proposal or then statement of topic that you are going to submit. It's the first big assignment. And before you are going to do the search and the analysis of the data. Okay. Any questions up to this part of the game? I will be reissuing assignment 11. I will open both again. I'm just struggling to download. For some other reason, I can't download the themes properly. So I am having to go through it manually to see and try make the changes to all the groups. So I will let you know as soon as that assignment is open for re-upload for the students that have missed that or where I couldn't, where you weren't in the right groups. Okay. All right, so let's stop sharing. Let's see in the chat. Right. Alton, do you now know where to find future research? So every article has got a section that says recommendation for future research or future research. Not just not the Harvard Business Review. I don't write it that way. Alton?
Sorry, Doc. Yeah, I'll just rewatch this recording again because the way you were explaining it with that specific article, I just need to work through the process and like search myself and find one, and then see if I can come up with the same based on my group's research topic.
Okay. Let me quickly, let's show you another one. It's also, this is in human relations. So, you can just scroll to the end. Okay, I've got it here. So I've got a conclusion. So these are all methodological articles. So let's just see. They all either have it here. this is now about another way of looking at strategy. Not strategy as practice, but strategy in practice. So sorry, it's not the best articles. It's these methods are logical ones. And it is actually really easy to, let's see, I can get less complex articles. Let's just go to Google Scholar. Trevor, while I'm looking for something in Google Scholar, how can I help you?
Well, thank you, Dr. Sandra. Sandra, my concern is what you are showing us now. I just want to know, does this tie back into what we can use for our master's application for next year? And in particular, I'm just concerned that maybe the research that we're doing in our groups does not necessarily tie up with what I am, the area that I am interested in submitting a research paper in. So I'm just trying to find out how I can optimize the work that I'm doing in class to simultaneously advance what I want to do in preparing my application for
your
next year's
master's.
master's paper. Yeah.
So
I hope that
you
makes
can,
sense.
yeah, no, it makes sense. So unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to use it in any case because it's group work. So you can't have 5 or 4 students using the same proposal to get into the master's. But what you can do, you can, while you are doing this assignment, use the methods that I gave you to do the same in the own topic that you're interested in. So run a parallel process and say, okay, this is my group work where I can practice and play around in. Now I'm going to do the same thing, because what you need to submit for your master's application is the topic statement. So you need to say, this is the problem. This is the problem that I'm going to solve. This is the research question. These are the backgrounds. So what is known, what is not known, everything that we discussed tonight. Plus, this is the methodology that would fit this process that I propose. And you need to do that in, I think, 5 pages. So if you run them parallel, you would be able to write your own research topic specifically for your master's going forward. I hope does that answer the question?
Yeah, I suppose it does. It's just it's just such a daunting task to do this. But yeah, you say we should do a parallel thing. So
Do
I
what you're
suppose.
doing now and just go through it, and then you will get to the topic statement part. You can submit it. I think it's about.
Beg your pardon? Sorry, I didn't catch
When
the
you
last
get
part that you
to
mentioned.
the topic, your own topic statement part, I think you do it for this assignment. I want to check you do the right one. I think in November. This 20 assignments. That's one. Yeah. The rapid review protocol is a topic statement. So by the time you get to this 24 November, you would have a topic statement to submit for masters. If you run a parallel process.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, ma'am.
If you do need help, I can't read 500 topic statements, but I can avail myself to read a few to give you some comments. And not that I know everything about every topic, but I can just check for golden threads and things like that.
Much appreciated. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I just want to show, and let's really hope that today this works out. So this is an article in sustainability. There's the abstract again, the introduction. They have the results. You see, they cite differently with all these little numbers or references. Let's see. So in the discussion, they look at decentralization. In this article, the exact potential for savings that can be achieved through digitalization, for example, okay, was not elaborated on. So that, for example, would then be a recommendation for future research. So they write it in a different way. See, the exact potential for savings. So what is the problem here, or the question here that they tell you? They say you need to go find out what is the potential for savings that is achieved through the digitalization of the agricultural sector. So that's a problem that is justified through their research to investigate. You see, Alton?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna go look at the end of the document, you look for where they make these big statements.
No,
They're
I know that.
normally not referenced.
Yeah, I know that. I was just trying to find one similar to what you refer to as a cheat sheet article, something like that, that shows it nice like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a very nice article that's just in in strategy as practice. Okay, the due date for most such applications is the 21st of November. You would be able to do that a little bit before the time. So go through the process parallel, and then if you jump the process a little bit, you could be able to get it done before the 21st of November. And if you want me to read it, then you are welcome to send it through. Okay. All right. Then just some logistics so that you know to plan. I am not available next